Okay, so if you were absent on Wednesday, we took some notes. So I'm going to go ahead and do those notes. They're all on shape. So what we're going to first do is we're going to define shape. So we're going to write the definition for shape. So with your with a pencil on your paper, go ahead and write that. Shape is a two-dimensional figure. A two-dimensional figure, which means that it only has two ways to be measured. That's what two dimensions means. Which means that it has length, you can measure its length, and it has width. You can measure its width. It does not have any depth. Okay? In math, you guys say length, width, and height. In art, we say length, width, and depth. Okay? So because it only has length and width, it only has two dimensions. That means that every shape is flat. Every shape is flat. Okay? There are two types of shapes. There are two types of shapes. The first, we're going to go ahead and draw a line down the middle, and we're going to talk about the two different types of shapes. So, first we've got geometric shapes. And you can pause this video as you need to. I'm going to kind of go fast through this. But basically, geometric shapes, these are precise shapes, okay? Precise means exact. These are precise shapes, and they're mathematical. That means you have seen these and heard these in math class before. So geometric shapes are precise and mathematical. Examples of some of these geometric shapes are squares, because a square has to have 4 equal sides in order to be called a square. If it doesn't have 4 equal sides, it's not a square. It could be a triangle. A triangle has to have 3 straight sides to be called a triangle. It doesn't have to be like that. I could have a little short one like this, short line, and a really long line. As long as my lines are straight and they connect with 3 lines, that's also a triangle. Okay? A rectangle is also an example of a geometric form, because you have to have 4 sides that are straight. Opposite sides need to be the same length. So the opposite sides need to be the same length. Okay? And those lines are parallel to each other. So a circle is also an example of a geometric shape, because a circle has to be perfectly around its middle center point. So if there's a center point, that means the distance from the center to any edge, it's called a radius, is the same distance no matter which direction you go to. Okay? So if I would draw something like this, that's not a circle, because it's too short here and too long here. If I draw something like this, that's not a circle, because the center point's here, this short going that way, and it's long going this way. It has to be perfectly round to be called a circle. So these have to be a certain way in order to be considered geometric. Okay? The other types of shapes are called organic shapes. Okay? Organic just means natural. So organic shapes, these are natural or they are irregular. So basically like a free form, free shape. It's kind of free. So if I just get a point and I make a line, I take this line across the paper and I come back and I match it up, I made a shape. That could be the shape of a pond. That could be the shape of a water splatter on the floor, a paint splatter on the floor. That could be all kinds of different things. I could draw something like this. And maybe I drew a tree, maybe I drew a broccoli, maybe I drew an explosion. You never know what that is. Okay? Or you could draw a star, because a star is really a ball of fire that's in the sky. And that's a star. Stars can be all different kinds of ways. We just kind of make the impression that it could be, that it looks like that. But a star could look like this too. So a star could be all kinds of ways. Maybe a flame. So you did something like that. As long as you close it up, that's a shape. Okay? So any of those things, those are considered organic shapes. So this is the difference between geometric shapes and organic shapes. Okay? Make sure you get these written down for your notes.